I thought it would be interesting to make a video on Berno or CZ22 Semi Autos. You don't hear much about them, but I've always found them to be excellent. So I took a while, but I picked up the most important models. This is a model 581. A lot of people recognize it because of the short receiver. And what can I say? It's a steel and walnut. This doesn't look like walnut, but it is a light grade of European walnut rifle. The trigger is excellent as far as 22 semi-autos go. This one is threaded and has a muzzle cap for a suppressor, which I don't have, but if you had one, that would be useful. Everything about it is as usual with Berno. I would have to say first class. It's a very accurate little rifle. And the sights are graduated for point blank range and then 75 yards. I think it has a either 5 or 7 round magazine. I usually load 5 rounds. It doesn't seem to have a bolt hold open. And this one, we'll flip it around. Actually, I'll show you the top of the receiver if we can focus in on the receiver. In case you go out looking for one, that's what they look like. And it's a cool one to own because of that short receiver. Most 22 semi-autos are a lot longer. And for our European viewers, you can see here, made in Czechoslovakia. So right away, you know it's not a brand new gun. It would, it would say made in the Czech Republic. Although some viewers correct me and say I should be saying Czechia. So with all due respect, it's made either in the current Czech Republic or Czechia. And then very conveniently on the front of the receiver, you'll see that this was made in 1976. And we may not be able to focus on it out here. But that's on the barrel, right in front of the action, and on the action as well. So yeah, you'll see that this all comes together in a kind of a meaningful display of 22 semi-autos made by Berno and CZ. And they changed a lot over time, as you'll see. So we just cycle the action. I preloaded the magazine. Chamber was empty while we were talking, not that that's a big deal. And we set up a little steel plate up on the hill there. So we'll just shoot some rounds here. So no bolt hold open. You know, I forget which ones have hold opens and which don't. Sometimes it's not a bad idea if you're just starting out shooting. You just get a little piece of wood to hold the bolt back. Of course, the recoil spring, the return spring always closes the action, but anyway, I don't have that. Just a suggestion. So we'll set this one down and I'll go and get the next one, which is also interesting. This is familiar to you probably from one of my previous videos. What a beautifully made semi-automatic. So this is the Berno Kms617. And on the left side of the receiver, it says PPK, made in Czech Republic. And it looks like it was made in 2010. Unfortunately, someone thoughtfully removed the rear sight. So I've been shooting it with no rear sight. And that means I don't always hit, but it doesn't matter. And this is the 17 HMR. I used to have a 22 Magnum and a 22 in this model. And you can see the sculpting of the receiver. It has the short receiver. Again, it's one of those rifles that they don't stick around on used racks very long because people like the way they look. There's a model that is available in Europe that has a walnut forend and buttstock with check ring. The ones over here tend to look like this. It's not that they look really bad, but it's not the best look. But that seems to be what they've shifted over to over here. And it's practical. It's I would say it's beech or birch. I mean, a very strong wood, and then some kind of finish on it. So we'll fire a few rounds of these. Again, this one in 17 HMR is a 5-round mag. And these were prone to jamming, like a lot of the 17 HMR Semi Autos. That's just because of the recoil impulse of the quite snappy 17 HMR round. And that was solved recently by Savage. They installed or designed what's called a locking chiclet, which delays the opening of the bolt, which would normally be a blowback mechanism like this one. Now this one actually is pretty good. So let's see how it does today. Again, I preload the magazines and we'll see how it runs. And I don't know what I'll hit because, you know, no rear sight, but we'll give it a go. So this one has a bolt hold open. That's that feature I like. And actually it's running very slick today. You know, it could be, I think I have a couple of these. It could be the other one that was jamming a little bit. But anyway, didn't jam today. Very, very fine rifle, beautifully made, useful and a good investment too. And we'll look now at the latest model. Here's the most modern semi-auto from Berno. You'll see on the receiver CZ512. And I mean, you'll notice right away it has similar stocks to the PPK. But other than that, they've changed completely the receiver design. This is aluminum upper and polymer lower. But I mean, it's still beautifully made, and you can see made in Czech Republic. There's no indication that I can see of the date, but I mean, there's a 20 kind of in the serial number, but whether that means it was made in 2020, I don't know. Anyhow, this one I've fired before, and it turns out to be almost target rifle accurate, at least for me. And good metallic sights, good stock. This system seems to be excellent. Any one of these you could put a scope on. Obviously, you know these things. But as you also probably know, I shoot the iron sights whenever I can. And yeah, I just mainly show it to you because I heard that they've discontinued them, yet I still see them on some dealers' shelves. So I don't know whether they're coming out with a new model. I checked on the website, I couldn't see a new model, but these are definitely worth owning. And I just loaded 5 rounds, so we'll take a look at the gong with this. Yeah, so I mean, effortless accuracy, and of course, that's a big target for a 22, but I just got fed up with, you know, cans and pop cans and stuff like that. Maybe I should go back to them. But it's for practical accuracy, we could put a smaller target up, but you know that you're going to hit better than that. But it gives you an idea of the operation of the rifle, and I really wanted you to see the different models because it gives you a good idea of the kind of evolution over there in Czechia or Czech Republic with their 22s. And this one does not have a bolt hold open that I can see. You know, sometimes you have to push the bolt handle in, or, you know, but it doesn't seem this one does that. All right, I think that is it. I have this in 22 Magnum. Maybe that's interesting. I'll get the 22 Magnum and then we can see that one shoot. And then you'll have kind of the best coverage I can provide at this time. So we'll take a look at that. Here's the last of the current models. So this is CZ512, and this is in 22 Magnum. And you know, again, someone thoughtfully removed virtually all of the iron sights. So I had to put this scope on, which I put it on just before filming. Hopefully it'll stay put. That's why there are no turret caps. I was just actually sighting it in. And I put on a Bushnell buckhorn wide angle that I had around. And you know, I have to say, a lot of people own Zeiss and Schmidt and Bender and Swarovski. But I'm always amazed at how good these so-called budget scopes are. I have them on all kinds of rifles. And I mean, maybe on the edges of the day, you know, in the morning or later on, dusk, there's a difference, and I'm sure there is, but I just find these very practical. And the wide angle of this Bushnell buckhorn is excellent. Anyway, if I didn't say it already, I think I did. Caliber 22 WMR, so Winchester Magnum rimfire. And hopefully I'll be able to hit the steel plate. Again, I think they stopped making these. You maybe can still find them someplace though. One of the best semi-autos, I think. Yeah, so excellent. Somehow I had good luck and got it to, you know, hit the target. Beautifully made. I'll find the sight somewhere, and if I can't find the original Czech Republic sights, like for the 512, I'll find something else. But, you know, if you have no iron sights on a rifle, you really have a shotgun that's just one pellet, which is not really a great thing. So, yeah, I think the factories should just go back to what they did like in the 18th and 19th centuries and just put iron sights on there. Then you can pick them up and go. As it is, you have to, I've spoken about this before, you have to get the bases and you know, the fellows that I take out to the range, the younger shooters, they're always amazed how well they can shoot with the iron sights. I think that's true for all of us. You know, maybe there's something about eyesight being better or worse, but overall, it's a good idea to have the iron sights. Anyway, we'll get this one back to where it should be with metallic sights. And that's about it for the review of CZ or Berno semi-automatic 22s. Definitely, they must be fairly common. They were in full production, but I don't see or hear too much about them, so I thought I'll share that with you. And yeah, I think these are keepers. They're just wonderful to shoot, reliable, extremely well made. And we'll see if they come out with something new. I'm sure they will. All right, until the next time, take good care.